it's Melissa with Tilted Homestead, and today I am in my basement and we're going to be starting some seeds. The first thing that I need to do is get my potting soil into this bin and mix it with some fertilizer. That was not very graceful. Now that we've gotten our soil into our bucket, I am going to mix some fish fertilizer into a gallon of water. So if you come look in this pail, the pail is much bigger, but there's only a gallon of water in there. So the fish emulsion calls for 2 tablespoons. So we're going to get that in there. Alright, now that I've gotten that in there, I realize that I need to get a stick to stir it with. Alright, so I'm just going to mix this in. Alright. Yes, this stuff stinks. Alright, so the next thing that I need to do is I need to dampen my soil. I'm not pouring this whole thing in there. I'm just going to dampen it.
Bailey likes the smell of that fish oil, don't you, Bailey?
Okay, I think I need a little bit more. Alright, so if you haven't noticed, instead of the stick, I actually found my shovel, which works much better. Alright, so I think we have the consistency that we're looking for. It is damp, but not soaking so that the water comes out, but it holds together. Alright, the next thing that I need to do is move this out of my way so that I can make room to bring my trays over here. Bob, are you coming to help? Alright, so now that we have our soil prepared, I am going to get soil into all of my cells in these 3 trays. We have our trays filled. Now I'm going to move on to planting my seeds. I have this kind of setup where the 72 cell ones, the smaller cells, I'm going to put my peppers in there because I know that they're going to take the longest and we need to transplant those anyway. So I think I'm gonna start with the peppers to see how many I can get. Alright guys, I am going to start out with my banana peppers. Okay, so I did only 8 cells of this kind of pepper because we have so many peppers that we want to plant this year. We're going to start off with 8 and see if those germinate. So now I'm going to get my little dibble here. Not really a dibble, it's just a dowel. And I'm just going to go gently right down into the soil and cover that up. Let's get him in the middle. Alright, so now I'm going to mark those so that I know where my banana peppers start and end in this tray, because there's going to be multiple varieties in here.
Yeah.
Alright, the next seed that I have here are my jalapeno peppers, and we are also going to plant 8 of those. Alright, so now that I have those 2 in, I'm going to finish off the rest of my peppers, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like before I move on to my onions and celery. Alright, so now that I have all of my peppers planted, well, my seeds, I have banana peppers here. I planted 8 of those. I planted 8 jalapenos and 8 cubanelle. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm not sure. Then I have 4 bullnose, 4, what are those? Atudas? I don't even know how to say that either. And then we have 4 California Wonders. So those are our peppers that are going to hopefully sprout and go into our garden this year. Now I'm moving on, and I have celery that I'd like to plant. We are going to be planting at least 20 celery plants this year. So I am going to start off in our next tray, because these cells are a little bit bigger. These are tiny, tiny seeds. Now, these say 1/8 of an inch. So basically, from what I read with celery, is you sprinkle them on the top of the soil, and you just leave them. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to see these. These are so tiny. And when they start sprouting and they actually have their true leaves on them, that's when you're going to want to thin them out. Alright, so this entire side of this tray, which works out to be 24 cells, is all celery. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our onions. So this whole side of this tray is going to be onions, as well as this tray here. I might not need this tray of cells that I filled with dirt right yet, but I will need those in the future, a couple of weeks from now, when we start more seeds. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get going on the onions so I can get planting those in there. And these will be a little bit easier because the seeds are a little bit bigger. Alright, so I'm going to get these planted, guys, and then I'll come back and show you what I have so far. Alright, so I have all my seeds sown for the 12-week mark. This tray I won't need, so we're just going to move it off to the side until we start our next batch of seeds. The next thing that we need to do is get these all watered and then get them onto our heat mat behind me and under our lights. Alright, so I went looking for my spray bottle, but obviously it didn't get packed up in my buckets of gardening equipment, so Eric made me this jar, mason jar, poked some holes in it, and this is how I'm going to water my plants right now. I don't want to use a regular watering can because I think it'll drown them out. So we're just going to gently water them. And if you're watching and you think that this water looks dirty, it's because it's the same water with the fish emulsion in it. So that's what I'm watering with. Alright, so now that they're watered, what I'm going to do now is pick up these trays and get them onto our heat mats, and we're going to get our lights set up too for the right height. Alright guys, so I think I got our trays all set on our mats and our lights adjusted. We might need to come back and adjust them again, but if you have seen the video, and we can link that for you up top, Eric had constructed this the other day for us so that we could start seeds, but it's in a different configuration today. Alright, so after doing more research, we realized that these lights have 4,500 lumens, and our plants only require one light strip or 3,000 lumens. So one light strip for each tray is all that is sufficiently needed. Alright guys, so thank you so much for joining me today as I sowed the first seeds of the season for 2022. I think we're going to do really well this year. We have this new setup that Eric built, and I am very hopeful for starting seeds this year. So wish us luck, and remember, once again, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button and hit that bell. And if you're really enjoying our videos, please share them with all your friends and family on your social media pages. Alright guys, have a good one. Bye.